Whoa.
Whoa.
We're back. It's fucking back. October, too. Holy tits.
What is this, our second? Was the last one in October?
No. The live stream was not in October.
That was in September.
Remember we had like a wild crowd, too? Like,
oh, my God.
You remember that chick pulled her tits out on us?
I remember that. Rubbed it in our face.
Rubbed it, came up on stage and tried to be like, you want some?
We found the bean, actually.
Found the bean? You found the bean?
Flick the bean, man. Yeah.
The bean to where?
The bean, man.
What's the bean? Please explain this to me.
The clit?
You didn't even know what BDSM was like 2 weeks ago.
I did not. I actually was thinking about that like the other day. I was like, I did not know what that. I've never heard that abbreviation before in my life.
What, BDSM? Did you Google it?
No, you just.
I learned some shit today. Do you want to know what I learned today?
Probably not.
Do you know what sounding is?
No. No.
Sounding is when you get something shoved in your urethral hole that vibrates. It's like a toy. I guess it could be anything, but like.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. Where did you learn this from?
No comment, man. I'm pleading the fifth on that fucker.
Perfect. Off to a great
booming start in October. Like, we might as well get our candy buckets ready, filled with like boobies.
Okay.
Have you ever seen those memes where people paint their boobs like boobies?
I have, yes.
Do you flank it to that one? You know.
This is off to the weirdest start.
Who cares, man? That's the fun of it.
This is perfect.
How you been, Sarah? It's been a minute, huh?
Yeah, it's been what? A few weeks now, I guess.
Life gets in the way sometimes, man. You seen anything good lately?
No.
No?
No.
Nothing?
I mean, I've been watching my Halloween movies.
Yeah, did you watch the SpongeBob special?
Not yet. It's coming
It's time.
soon.
It's fucking time.
I haven't watched Rocky Horror yet.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't watched Rocky Horror yet. Got to get on
Are you going to the Plague next week?
What date?
Rocky Horror Ball.
What day?
Avondale. I think it's the 18th.
It's at Avondale.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit outside in the cold for that.
Yeah, if
like,
the
I
weather's decent, though, I would consider it.
What else you got going on? Are you coming to that Halloween party?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Probably. I think, unless a gig pops up, so don't get your hopes up too high. But if a gig doesn't pop up, I'm probably there.
Well, I won't give my boner up too high. You know?
Okay, but I would like to be there.
Yeah. You never ask how I'm doing. Why is that? Why do you think that is?
Because we jumped on
because I posted on social media.
Well, yeah.
So if you follow me, everyone's like, oh, this fucker's depressed.
Well, you know, you ask me how we're doing, and we start talking, and we go off a stupid tangent, and it never even. How are you doing today, sir? Okay, moving on then.
I feel like I'm ready for sounding. No, I'm better. You know, I'm house sitting the next couple of weeks, so that'll be fun. I got to clean up a lot of dog shit because I'm not the best house sitter, but you know. It's fine.
I'm not good at taking my own dog out.
So. You still got that little fella?
Still got that little bitch.
Yeah. It's a male dog, isn't it?
No, it's a bitch.
Oh, well, just don't fuck it,
no girl. Okay. No sounding on the door.
Yeah, coming up soon. Are we gonna do a Halloween special? I think we should.
I think we should. We should try at least.
Like midnight, the witching hour on October 31st.
Yeah.
I'm in,
pretty nice. After the Halloween party.
Instead of having a phoner in this time, we have an actual live guest. Well, it's a living guest. I don't know if it's this isn't live, so
kind of live.
But an actual fucking guest. My guru, I consider him that. I keep saying that out loud. You know, I've been saying that for about a year and a half now. It is Compton Smith joining us today. How are you, good sir?
Hello, boys.
Welcome back.
Yeah, this is your second time on Pod in a Bag, right?
Yes, last time was at Shenanigans.
Yeah, did you get any flack from that?
No.
Did you get laid from that?
No.
Okay, well, next time.
I mean, I didn't try for either, so.
I remember you had like pulled up some image of some girl and something was happening, like she was getting married or something. Have you forgotten?
I don't remember.
Am I the only one that listens to this shit?
Remind me. I know I don't listen to myself, so.
There was something that happened, and like in the midst of it, she was texting you saying, "You're the only man I've ever loved," or something, and then she was getting married.
Well, that's happened a lot of times.
I thought I was writing your own narrative here, Compton. I was like, am I writing his screenplay?
Well, I'm just trying to think which time that happened. Once was on from a bachelorette party. Once was the day of the wedding. Can I keep your semen? So I'm trying to remember who got married recently that I give a fuck about.
Oh, geez. She wanted to keep your semen in like a fucking jar or something, like treasure it forever.
Yeah, in
like
case she wanted to have kids.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. She didn't want you to go to like an office or something and like donate.
No.
Turkey base that fucker or something.
Yes, straight up.
Squirt it.
I live in people's freezers. What can I say?
It won't be long till we're all there,
But let's see. So there was someone that I knew that was getting married. That I don't remember. I remember being at the show, and I remember what's his name dropped in from Austin that used to be here. Brent.
Who?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Anyway,
there's one thing I remember from that show.
Tell me more.
Was you asking people when the last time they ate
pussy? And because there was 2 people there, and I was just like, I don't care. I was curious, It has been a hot minute for me.
Question. Yeah.
I still haven't since then. Have you?
Probably not since then.
But prior to the
feels like it was 5 years ago. I don't know.
What about you, good sir? When's the last?
This always comes up.
When you sniff it, if you get past the smell, you lick it. That's something my grandmother told me. I'm not kidding.
What?
True story.
True stories.
It's been months. Not quite a year. Months. Yeah, but it was the first time in a long time, so I had to figure out, because I used to be a 2 hands under the butt guy, and prop it up on the elbows so the neck doesn't have to work too hard. And now I have to readjust with the nub. It's kind of a cantered.
One hand scooper now.
Yes. So my one arm thankfully can do the job of 2. It just takes a different angle.
Can I do it? Can I do it? Can I? I'm asking for your permission. Have you ever really used the nub on someone?
That was my question.
See, it's everyone's question. Fuck, I didn't want to get into it because Compton, dude, I love you, and I'm not a human being that's ever going to be invasive, but I'm on a mic now. It's like,
yes.
No,
you've envisioned it.
Considering how this affects the joke, I don't know.
Told you, Guru.
I don't know what the best way to answer that would be. There's no evidence that I've ever done that.
It hasn't made a court case yet.
If that is ever a court case, I'm front and center.
Oh, me too. And I'm eating popcorn the whole time.
Oh my God,
I'm just staring on.
I'm writing down notes. That's becoming a
You
movie.
can't put the Guru in jail because I will stand for it. She asked for it.
There's no evidence.
Oh man, good answer, man.
That was perfect.
I'm just being honest. The whole time I've known you, about 3 years now, maybe almost 4. I've never wanted to make a joke about it because I love you too much, and I know everyone does. I've even talked to Noah about it. I was like, I just don't fucking care to do it. I love to do too much. Oh, I'm getting sentimental. Sorry. Let's go back to fucking nubbing pussies.
You're allowed to. I tell everybody the same thing. If you write a better joke about my nub than I have, then I will steal it. But you're allowed one. You can tell it once.
So you have thought about it then?
Oh yeah, the measurements have been taken. I'll put it that way.
All right. Fuck it.
I do own the domain nubbinlovin.org now.
For all of our deaf listeners out there in the audience, please be checking that one out.
Nubbinlovin.org. There's also nubbin-lovin.com. But whichever one's most convenient for you.
Both of them.
if there is proof of such an act, it's on that website.
Split screen.
Tell you about my Patreon. This is my new OnlyFans.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Please do plug everything.
I have thought about doing an OnlyFans where just dipping the nub in different things.
Jars of peanut butter.
Yeah. But I want to do peanut butter, but you can't do a jar. You got to have a bowl.
Yeah,
you
it's got to be like almost a pool.
Yeah, like a salad bowl of just. Chocolate pudding is the one I make the joke about now. That needs to be the first one, but this is coming in the very near future. This has to be
coming, and a lot of people are too. Yeah, it's coming, and a lot of people are coming to it.
I will be monetizing the nub post haste at this point.
That would rule. I would tune in. I don't know if I could donate though.
Dude, well, so the nub has been kind of off the radar for a while. I've been just focusing on comedy and telling jokes and doing festivals and stuff, and kind of divorcing myself from being a producer. Just focusing on being a comic. And so my prosthetic and using my prosthetic has been really that's been way on the back burner the last couple of years. But I had a really great conversation with one of my doctors today that has put that in a new light. Without giving all of it away, I guess I can say the hope is for me to acquire a legit Terminator arm in the future. So we're talking like articulating fingers, the whole
Kung
nine
Fu
yards.
death grip,
Yes.
You're going to get a Tesla arm.
Yeah.
That'd be bitching.
I'm just going to yank it off one of those robots.
I was going to say one day when you're spanging it, the sentient just takes over. It's my venom arm.
Yeah. So I had a great talk with my doctor today, and a lot of things have shifted for me in the last couple of months. So it's cool to have
fucking great.
A new thing to have a goal for, something to really work for.
Dude. Well, I don't know how many people tell you that they're proud of you, but I'm proud of you, man. The shit that you do, like I get excited when I see you up in Maine and shit like that. I'm like, fuck yeah, go get them, sir.
Cool. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Go get them.
That was a fun trip too. If you've never been to Maine, I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Everyone always sees their friends accomplishing things, and they're like, "I wish I could do that," but I'm always just like, "Please, like, go." I can say I knew that dude once. That's my thing. I was like, I fucking hung out with that cat,
Yeah, we'll talk about it when he gets back. Yeah. Tell stories.
Talking about things you don't know about this, or maybe you know a small midget sense of it.
Small midget.
Small midget sense of it.
I know a small midget.
Do you think they like the sound? I'm gonna keep marking it back.
I don't know.
I learned about sounding in a very, very traumatic situation.
Oh shit! Someone did just pull the rabbit out of the hat, did they?
No, not at all. No. I was having a good time, and
I hope so.
I was having a good time, and it came across the porn feed, and it took me a second to realize. But I can count on one hand the times my dick has gone soft in my hand. That was one of them. Like, as soon as I realized what that was, I was just
no, thank you. Goodness. Yeah, it's like going to the Pain Olympics site, It's like, no, don't need to see that. Edits. I recently had a good funny. We've been watching the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, and there's actually a Bye-Bye Nightmare. Yeah, look at his eyes. Stop fucking the joke up. I'm just going to do this. There we go. Oh, fuck yeah. So, Bye-Bye Nightmare is to bi dudes, and one of them's got dildo finger hands. Yeah, I was playing a prank on people, and I was like, we're going to watch another Nightmare on Elm Street, and I put on Bye-Bye Nightmare. The things you do with your friends. Don't look at me weird. What are you talking
Can you
about?
Restart? Let me take this in again.
Did I lose you somewhere?
Yeah, you lost me.
I'm teaching you all kinds of things on the podcast now, like boofing and sounding and BDSM. And
whole new world.
We should just call this Growing Up with Noah.
Yeah. Okay, so wait.
Growing Up with Animal. Yes.
Does it kill people with them?
And not figuratively.
Okay.
Or literally.
Okay.
He just wears them. It's called Bye-Bye Nightmare. It's two dudes and one has dildo finger hands like Freddy Krueger.
He doesn't kill people.
Edward Scissorhands, but dildos.
Yes.
I'm in. I'm gonna watch it. Right. Like,
sold.
We're not watching Saturday Night tonight. We're watching this.
Bye-Bye Night. I think I'm going to pass on that experience with you.
Me too. Yeah, I'm never watching this.
Man, that's still... People talk about sex scary stuff, and the first thing that always comes to mind is the scene in Seven where he makes that guy put on that sword dildo and fuck that girl to death. That's what I see when you make jokes about Freddy Krueger having dildo hands. I'm like, that's not as bad as that shit in Seven.
It is October. We're getting there. Rocktober right now. Yeah, spooky.
How is Seven not on everybody's watch list for Halloween? Because that is truly terrifying.
A traumatic movie, yeah. I don't think it's classified as a horror film for some reason. I think it's classified as a thriller, yeah.
What?
I think it's... Oh, you texted me the other day and said you couldn't watch The Thing. Did you make it through? Did you power it?
I haven't watched I watched The Thing one time, and I haven't watched it since. I love that movie.
Gotta
and it's so good that I just never want to watch it again.
You gotta get back to that.
I don't know. It scared the ever-living shit out of me as a kid. Just said I'm done with that movie, but it's the best ending ever.
I don't remember it. Refresh my memory.
The Thing, it's this freaking alien. There's not much explanation on it, but it just takes over people's bodies and imitates them perfectly. And it's the nastiest looking thing because it's this 80s, they got the practical effects, the great practical effects. John Carpenter. It's nasty. He thinks it looks stupid, and it does look stupid. Rubber
monster.
It's like melted gum, pretty much. But it's terrifying.
You see the monster for like 5 minutes. Like
and
the last few minutes of the movie, that's when it's a creature feature. So it's like,
and then the ending is it's a beautiful.
There's some gory stuff that happens. Like the coolest sequence is they go around trying to test who has the creature inside them because they can apparently take over everything, and they like put these petri dish down and like burn them, and like they're like anybody could be the creature, which is true in real life. Noah,
That's why it scared me. I couldn't decide if I wanted to sleep in the bed with my mom that night or sleep by myself and lock the door. Like I was traumatized, and I'm young at this point, and I haven't watched it since.
I kind of want to have that. That should be the October fucking episode right there. It's like we just live commentate the thing.
Yeah. I want in. I don't think I've seen it.
Wow.
Like,
John Carpenter's one of his best.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of movies and forgotten about them, but this I don't. This sounds like something I would remember.
You'd probably like it.
Are you a horror movie fan?
No. The reason for that is because gore ruined it for me.
Yeah, it's all gore-tastic right now.
Yeah, so I was I was okay with horror films, and I enjoyed horror films until the Saw franchise got to number 3, and I was out. It was like, this is because of my medical background. It's too easy for me to empathize with wounds and all the injuries that I've had. It just hurts too much. It's not fun for me. It's like, nah, man, that's like, I got hit by a Mack truck. I don't need that shit.
If all of them were like The Shining, I'd watch every single one. But none of them were
like psychological thriller.
Yeah. That's a whole different thing.
It is.
What was the one that she takes him hostage?
Gone Girl?
No, it had, this was back in the day. It was one of Stephen King's.
Misery?
Yeah.
Misery.
Fuck
yeah.
Yeah. Oh. See, now that kind of scary stuff with that level of gore, that was where I was at.
Yeah.
And so
that's a pretty brutal sequence though. Like
that is. But that's a pretty big threshold.
It needs it. It's not just like, hey, let's just throw all this crap.
Yeah, like Terrifier.
Yeah. I've never watched that, but
you don't have to.
I'm probably never
skip all of it.
I don't watch new horror movies really at all. So.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I'm out of horror these days. But I do like hearing about horror films that I've missed that are from people like Carpenter and of course I've seen all of Kubrick stuff, but yeah, I do have an affinity for incredible directors. So that would be right up my alley. Yeah.
I don't think Carpenter made a bad film. Like I'm trying to think back, and there's one that's like At Night something. I can't remember, and then there's Near and Dark, which is a weird movie with like child vampires in it or a kid vampire.
Nothing pops out anything I hate of his. No.
Big Trouble Little China.
Dude, I loved Big Trouble Little China.
That's a masterpiece.
God, dude. Because when I was a kid coming up, late 80s, early 90s, TBS and
Up All Night.
Yeah, man. You got to see some really good movies.
That's the first place I watched The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
It was USA's Up All Night. And I remember they played it 3 times in a row, and I watched it all 3 times. I was like, this is a fucking masterpiece. I was the better half of 11 years old, and I was about to hit youth, and I was like, this changes the game. Yeah, like, this is what life is supposed to be like, and it turned out it was nothing like that at all. Absolutely nothing. But I still have that memory of, like, USA Up All Night, and they played it back to back to back, and I was like, this movie.
That's good. Okay, so we grew up in the 80s and 90s. We're about the same age. We've talked about this. You're about a generation behind us.
I'm about 2.
Half a generation.
There's no way you're 2 fucking generations back.
Well, 20, if you go 20 years, I go 20 years. So he's 1 generation behind us. But we grew up with good movies.
Yeah,
like every year that was a thing. Movies coming out. I can remember going and seeing Home Alone during Christmas and all that good shit. But you guys didn't have that in the 2000s.
No, you had Star Wars.
Good movie.
Yeah, you had Star Wars like once a year, once every 2-3 years.
Yeah,
right.
But even then, I'm too young to really like. I saw them, but I don't remember much seeing them in theaters.
No wonder why all you kids are depressed these days.
Man, we had crap. We didn't get the movies that stayed in for extended periods of time because everyone wanted to see them.
Beetlejuice has been playing for like 5 fucking weeks.
It'll be out.
Are there
before Halloween? I don't know.
So what?
A few weeks.
How many movies have become cult classics that were made in the
90s,
in the aughts?
Yeah,
because the 80s and 90s produced early 90s produced a bunch of cult classics. Like Dazed and Confused became a cult classic after the fact. But I don't remember a lot of those in the aughts becoming cult classics.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, that's the biggest
Okay,
one.
yeah, for sure.
And quite honestly, my mind draws a blank after that.
Dude, Where's My Car?
Dude, Where's My
That's
Car?
the big one to me,
Yep.
but that was right at the fucking millennium.
Yeah,
2000.
Man,
Yeah, this is
Harold and
rough.
Kumar Go to White Castle if you want to consider it a cult classic. There's more of a following than you think, but it's
touching a
not
fine
that
line.
huge. Yeah.
Well, then you do need
it's
about
a smaller one for sure.
You do need about a decade after the fact. So there probably might be some more that pop up. But that's an interesting phenomenon. I don't know if anybody's ever studied that. Especially how, because I know there's been a lot of talk about how we're remaking movies and it's all Marvel superhero shit these days, which that's amusing to a point, but it's not like there is no modern Breakfast Day Club. There is no modern.
No, they were thinning out in the 2000s, early 2000s, and now they're
The
gone.
2000s was filled with teen titty comedies, though. I mean, like American Pie and Euro Trip and Road Trip and
That's where Ryan
bunch of
Reynolds
them.
caught a hook with
Van
that one
Wilder.
movie, Van Wilder. Yeah, I remember that.
his first big role,
Which
other
was
than
a
the TV show.
Which was a really good movie. But is that because of National Lampoon having the history that it had, that was able to produce a couple of things in the early aughts?
I think it was him. Like, I think the role was good. And the
Well,
movie
yeah,
itself good.
he was definitely good at it. But okay, so I'm looking at it as National Lampoon was a franchise that was established
before the
pre-aught.
70s, yeah.
So is there anything that came about in the aughts that really makes it as a cult classic? I mean,
Dude, that's
I don't know.
rough.
This
Yeah,
would
that's
be
a
fun
think
for
piece.
somebody to
Fuck
write
yeah.
a PhD dissertation on, I'm sure. But
Like we're doing right now.
yeah,
Loud in the back.
that's what happens. That's what happens. You ask me weird questions.
No, we all STEM. That's
I love
we
it.
should just change the name of this to STEM with Noah.
And with Noah.
Sounding with Noah.
That'd be hilarious.
Whoa.
What?
All right, I was talking in on something. I was leading in on
Everybody's
funny.
mic stand is a sounding thing, and you gotta figure out
Suck it
how
up.
to.
What it was.
I don't know. Like you
You
either
gotta
keep
use
it
your
up.
own method on this.
You either got to keep it up,
This is
or
a pretty cool setup, actually. compared
Imagine-
to what we
I'm
normally have. Yeah.
dude, imagine if your dick was your mic stand. Like you gotta. Then everybody would know how hard it is to be a porn star.
As a stand-up comedian, it kind of is, isn't it?
Be a lot less podcasts, I can tell you that.
You haven't heard this joke, but I tell this one on stage sometimes. I got a good friend. Everybody's got this friend, but we'll just name him, and then his name's Eric, right?
Okay.
And he's got that really Southern twang, but it's the gay Southern twang that I like, and I can't tell this in some places, but I kind of put his voice on every now and again. I was like,
What if God was really just a stand-up comedian and he put our penises on where our belly buttons are and our vaginas and where our belly buttons were too? So that way we could all just have stomach sex and we'd be fucking each other's stomachs.
Look at your face. Oh, I'm a workshop while I'm fucking pitching it anyway. Does this work? You're the only one that can probably judge this one, but
Okay.
fuck, now you're letting me do stand-up. Do you think Italians fist their wife like this? Hey, as a spicy meatball.
Yeah, that's why that fisting dildo looks that way. They've got
You can shake it.
well, they've got three different ones. They've got the thumb first, and then they've got the
Thumb first, the Italian.
and then they've got the Italian, and then they've got the fist. They don't call it the Italian, but it looks a lot like that.
Oh man, I had a racial facsimile for that, but I'm not going there yet. Compton got it mentally. Oh man, leading in.
Yeah, they come in three different colors.
Don't we all wish we could? Black and blue, and purple. Oh shit!
Blue on Black was a really great song by Kenny Wayne Shepherd.
So we're in the works and talking of workshopping this idea for a comedy documentary. I didn't know this until today. Compton said is it okay to say?
Yeah, go for it. Toss it out there.
He might be working on a book about stand-up comedy, but we're talking about how hard it is. Since you are out of practice for, what, 2 years now?
Not quite. Come on December, it'll be maybe 2.
Maybe. Ooh. And you got...
I started 2 years ago, maybe like a few weeks ago.
And you
Maybe it
got
was 3 years. How long have I lived here?
the showcase after, like, the first time, right?
It was one of those, what do you call those?
But still,
The
that's,
audience choice showcase.
that's an
things.
impressive
Yeah, I got-
feat, though.
I
Like,
got
that you
it.
get voted into that shit. Like, it's not
Guess.
like you weren't funny. You had well-written stuff.
Yeah, I enjoyed doing it.
Yeah. Can you talk about how hard that is, though? Like, how,
It was
how
more
long-
stressful even making the $10 I got that night from whatever ticket they sold. I was like, man, this is just terribly stressful. I did not.
Yeah.
It was rough. It was
Try
rough.
doing it as a travel comedian.
I
couldn't imagine. Like,
I got
really
one of
couldn't.
those.
When it was just, the open mic and I was just goofing off and it was fun. It was cool.
That's why I love
As soon as any amount of
I
stress
love
came
them
in,
for
I was like,
people.
man, this is just harder than I ever imagined it being.
But I mean, you accomplished a feat that most people don't. You went up there, you did the brave thing, and then
Oh, yeah.
you got the showcase right away. You got a lot of people coming up to me like, "Good job," That normally happens if you do nail it. And like, that was your first attempt, I believe.
It was some of my first. It was probably my first like 5. It was a fun run, I guess.
Did you have a process? Did you have written shit like months before you decided to go do that, or was that like a spur of the moment? I'm going on
No,
stage.
I kind of started showing up maybe for like a month. And just sitting there,
You were
sitting
just
in the
sitting-
back.
Nobody
watching.
knew who you were. You
No
had
one
your
really
Peter
knew
in
me.
your
I was just
pocket.
talking to people on occasion. Had
and your Peter in the pocket.
had my Peter in the pocket.
Have you ever heard this?
Right now. What,
Tell the Peter story.
you
the-
probably
the
remember it better
confidence
than
it's
me.
easier, yeah.
The Peter in the pocket store? No,
I
I
always
not.
wear, I always wear the Ghostbuster jacket. I always have the
Okay.
Ghostbuster, and I always carried a little Pete Venkman, Bill Murray toy.
Right.
And me and Pluto, I don't even know him well at this point. These two females walked past us in we're like at the bar thing upstairs, and I walked past and I just pull out this heat of the moment, pull out the Peter toy. He's like, "Hey, you want to touch my Peter?" And they just looked at me and like the eat shit look and walked away.
He literally carried a Peter Venkman Ghostbusters toy in his pocket. At one moment, they walked by and he just pulled it out, looked at me, and was like, "Don't touch my Peter." It's like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
That's
like in the
great.
pantheons of the history of my life, this is the coolest fucking thing anybody's ever done in front of me, up to and including sounding. So literally, what happened was I was like, "You got to do this on stage," and you finally fucking did it. And it didn't.
I did it one time. It didn't whack.
Yeah.
Actually, no. The guy's girlfriend, or the girlfriend.
You made somebody angry that evening, actually.
Yeah, a guy and his girlfriend. I did to his girlfriend.
You're about to get.
He was pissed.
You're about to get comedy ass kicked.
Yeah, he was pissed. I just looked at him.
None
like
of us
he
would
was
have
an
let
idiot.
that happen. We would
Oh,
have
God,
looked
no.
at him and been
I
like,
wasn't
"Who the
scared
fuck
of
do you
that.
think you are? It's a joke."
Welcome to the comedy show,
Yeah.
man.
Man, Jesus.
They
Yeah,
kick
he wasn't
people
happy.
out for that stuff. You know? What about you? See, when you first started, did you have the process? Did you have to build yourself up to get to go and do that sort of thing, or was it like you knew you wanted it?
I had a pretty similar story. I went to comedy a couple of times because I had just quit my audio engineering job and was debating whether or not I was going to be an audio engineer and continue to be a musician and go that route and make that my life, or if I was going to try something new. And it took me about a year to figure out exactly where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. I was playing around with a podcast at the time, doing a bunch of stuff. And eventually I decided comedy, hard to do, very small club. I won all those accolades. After being at an open mic a couple of times, I had the same thought everybody does. I'm funnier than these people. So I went home, wrote a 5 minutes, went after it hard, disciplined, timed it, practiced it, went in, got some pretty good laughs, and then was disappointed for the next 2 years.
Yeah, I was disappointed with the rest of my life. Oh man, I had my friend Jeremy, which you two know. He started out doing it a long time. He met a lot of people, and a lot of the times when I would meet him, they were kind of like standoffish to me because they were a little club, in Tuscaloosa. And I enjoyed their company. I thought there were some people that were like really funny, really good people. And then I just kind of dipped out for a little while, and he moved away. So I got bored. I was like, I got to go make friends somehow. And the first night I went up there, this man greets me and it's just like, "Hey man, here to sign up." And I was like, "Not really, I'm too nervous." And he's like, "Well, if you fucking show up, go up, it's kind of thing." And I was like, "Whatever, dude." And I had one night prior to that where like Jeremy and my friend went up there, and I was like, "Fuck it, if my friends are going to go up there, I'm going to go do it." And it wasn't like an addiction thing for me. It was just like, I like going out on a Monday or a Wednesday or a Tuesday, for fuck's sake, and hanging out with people and getting to know them, getting to know their life. And I love seeing talent. Like I get chill bumps. I don't know if you do. When I see somebody that goes up there and they fucking, yeah, sure, I have that jealousy bone in the back of my brain, or the back of my skull. But at the same time, I'm just like, fucking A. Like, thank goodness someone comes out here and can literally knows the game, wants to play the game, and fucking goes up there and kills it. And I get like goosebumps, So I kept sticking around for it, man. I wanted to hang out with you on Mondays and met you, and I made some good friends doing it. And I've been to Huntsville, fucking did shit in Connecticut where like I just met people, that I'll never see again. But that's what it is for me, is like a community of friends where they're most of them are accepting of you, and they welcome you in, and fucking it's a good time. It's easy to meet people. They're all there, and they all have trauma.
It's a small club. Yeah, which is fun. It's nice.
What do you measure success as? Like, what do you think would be? You want to sell out crowd like fucking Chappelle or?
My goal in comedy has always been to be a road comic, and to make enough money, doing as few shows as I like to pay all the bills. Which that's not a huge goal. You figure for me, if I do 3 shows a weekend, I'm making incredible money that month. So, which I'm not too far from having those bookings, but I'm still about a year or 2 away from the big paychecks, because I'm not a official headliner yet. I can do an hour, but I don't try to sell an hour, because that's not my specialty right now. But I'm pretty close. Like I'm at home, and I get to take care of my farm. I get to take care of my parents, and on the weekends I get to go wherever I want,
have fun,
and work,
play. Yeah.
Fucking
man. So if our any viewers out there or listeners that are deaf, book Compton Smith. You still got your website up and shit like that?
Yeah, ComptonSmith.com. I'm easy to find. I'm Googleable, baby.
Googleable. I'm not. That's so weird to me. I've been in the game 15, not game, but been doing film work 15 fucking years, and people Google me and they're just like, I don't find you anywhere. What have you worked on? Yeah, try it. Try and Google my name.
I've never thought about that.
You won't find it, brother. What else is happening in your life soon? Go ahead.
So here's the other thing about the comedy path. Right now, there is the social media phenomenon, where influencers and people that are doing well with Reels and TikTok and Shorts on YouTube are developing large audiences and getting a lot of attention, and are able to sell tickets. The exact formula for X amount of followers equals X amount of ticket sales regularly has yet to be determined. I still don't know what that number is. I've had club owners that can't tell me what that number is. However, a lot of club owners are booking people that they've never heard of, that are
solely on their socials,
that are social media influencers, and there are a lot of social media influencers that are becoming stage personas in the effort to try and become comedians or presenters or something to that effect. But it's very rare that one of those people walks on stage and is a comic. But I've seen, and I've talked to people that their age, like they'll do well on social media. Someone will approach them to be an agent and say, hey, I can get you gigs if you can do, X amount of show.
What's the percentage? What's the agency percentage for
usually about 15%.
Yeah, so I was gonna film was like 15 to 20.
Yeah, I offered my manager more than that just because I'm a nice business person, but that's the normal rate. So one of the things that I'm working on right now is I've been collecting B-roll and just jokes that I can split up so that I can start a TikTok and start distributing that stuff. Because the shortcut around everything is develop that following, and then it's done. Then it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it will inevitably snowball. And I've seen some people that have questionable content for whatever reason, and there's you find the right niche and you throw it in the right direction, and it will stick on the wall.
I can't wait for the days where we're not so close-minded and progressive, where we can go back to actually being funny without thinking we're going to offend somebody.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like I miss it when you could, and I'm not talking about racial slurs or any of that sort of pushing the bounds kind of comedy. I'm just talking about you. I have a fear when I go up there because I don't want to offend anybody in life. Like that's not what I'm here on this planet for. I'm here to make everybody feel loved because that's how I want to feel. but I don't want to go up there and say something that's going to offend somebody and they come after me afterwards. It's like, that's why suicide jokes fucking hit me, and where I'm just like, this shit is only funny if you make it funny. But it doesn't work sometimes when it's just somebody being like, oh, where's the comma? Do you know what a semicolon tattoo is? Everyone knows what I'm talking about. I'm like, that's not funny. Anyway, but I can't wait for people to just be a little bit more open-minded about it, you know. And the crowd work shit is fucking taking over too. Like, it's like,
Yes, it has.
everybody's just making fun of somebody out there instead of writing and then practicing. The old philosophy's kind of gone out the window. It's now, let's grab their attention by making fun of them, and then I'll tell my jokes, you know. And a lot of people don't see the actual joke part.
Yeah, and I think that rolls into the social media influence, because what a lot of people are seeing that is drawing them to comedy is crowd work and crowd work specials and crowd work clips. Because it's so popular that more and more comics are doing Q&As after their sets just so they have material that's crowd work.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where when I go to open mics, unless there's something that I really need to work out, like, no one's booking me to do more time than I have material. So what I need are clips. And sometimes that's me writing new material, but mostly when I go to open mics now, I walk on stage and I tell the audience, this is all crowd work. So you toss topics at me or I'm going to make fun of you and we're going to have fun. And last night at Cahaba, that was pretty much it. Like, it was all...
Did you bang it? Because like, that crowd is generally
crushed
quiet.
It.
Yeah.
Crushed it.
Good
Had a
shit.
great time. And it's interesting to see how they respond, because they want to see it, but they don't want to be involved in it.
So, I know there was two people the last time I did Cahaba that were sitting in the corner, and I was just like, okay, you've been quiet the whole time. And then I reached out to them and they were just like, please leave us alone. So
it's interesting. However, it's real easy to get clips out of that, because you don't have to write a new joke to get a new clip.
Yeah.
I know I like the improv stuff. I write on stage predominantly. So having the opportunity to improvise and having a crowd that will go there with you, game on. It's more fun.
It also helps that our attention spans are shrinking. People just want to watch 15, 20 seconds and try and get something to happen. You know?
Yeah. Well, a lot of that comes down to the mastery of the art, because it takes a very so there's a lot there. There are a lot of skills that go into being a comic. Crowd work is one of them. And so there's this expectation that someone will be able to do that, even though that comic shouldn't be expected to do that at the level that they're at. At an open mic, most of the people there are not there to practice their crowd work. Like, they're there because they got a couple of jokes to write. And so the interaction between comics and the crowd is kind of different in that way. However, the mastery of the craft comes through in still being able to command that audience
and be witty at the same time.
Yeah, because I saw a guy that had only been up a couple of times last night at Cabo. It came out, he had good material and a good delivery, and he got the audience on his side by the end of his set. So it can be done. I see a lot of people make the mistake still of thinking that crowd work is you versus the audience, and they'll attack the audience. Yeah. And I have yet to see a comic make the transition and leaps into larger and larger shows by being confrontational on stage. So I don't understand that aspect of what people are doing with the crowd work.
Now, you've seen me recently, and then I get a lot of people like the review I got after that one show you were at is that I'm stirred, you know, and I felt bad because I said a guilty thing where I was just like, yeah, the tornado's coming and it's this comedian's comedy. And I was just like, man, I feel like a piece of shit now. But it got laughs. But everybody else, like, I felt like I should have apologized to the comedian because he didn't know that was coming, that little fucking quip. You know, it was good. Like, afterwards, even Jeremy came up to me and was just like, no, that was probably your best one-liner of the entire evening. You know?
Dude, and that's great. And sometimes I make sure I tell people, like, I had a guy that had gauges in his ears last night. And so we were talking just crazy shit. So I asked him, I was like, has anybody ever put their penis through your ear? And of course everybody dies laughing. But I had to ask him a couple of questions before I felt comfortable tossing that at him. Because this dude was bigger than me, which I'm not small. So he had 2 arms, which is dangerous. And so there is making sure that it's going to land, that you pick the right person to play with. That's a big thing. And also after the fact, I make sure to tell people like, thank you for playing along.
Yeah, thanks for having a good time.
You know, I love you and I appreciate you.
I'm not here to make fun of you. It's just me being funny. You know, and I'm sorry that my brain is wired differently than like 65% of the population, but you know.
Like and it happened on the fly last night. There was a guy with face tattoos, and I just was like, one of the first things I said on stage was like, dude, I can't not see it. Your face is covered in tattoos, and we talked about it. And it was like, nothing against you. It's just you stand out in a crowd of not tattooed faces.
How much time did you spend in prison?
And did you bring
your girlfriend paint your face too?
Did you bring enough drugs for all of us? Like, you know, the standard questions you ask.
It's always either drugs or sex. It's the two go-to.
Yeah, or have you killed somebody?
Food, yeah.
Like, how many people have you murdered?
Where'd you get that teardrop tattoo?
Did you earn that? Is that real? I don't know.
Do you have no regrets tattooed on your chest? You know, you got that one. You missed it, huh?
No, wait.
No regrets. We're not even going down that road.
That was commercial.
Workshop a bit. I haven't heard you do any comedy in a long time, and I know your head's been writing something. So
listen, I write things.
You got one of the gurus here. That's what I was saying while he
notepad.
was talking. I was like, guru, man, and just can.
I write things on a notepad.
All
Never
right.
work on it, and forget about it, and forget everything in it.
Why don't you just pitch them to other comedians?
I guess I could.
That's not.
I just have to
harmful.
find the little journal that I've written a bunch of stupid. It's probably all really bad.
Do you have an off the cuff one in your mind right now?
No,
The
I
one
really
that just
don't.
comes to you. All right,
It's just not something I think about.
tell one that you've told on stage last time.
I can't do that because the
Why?
last time I did it, I bombed, and I was like, "Wow, that was bad." I'm just not going to do that.
You're not gonna bomb in front of me in Compton.
I also
Are
don't
they gonna
remember
find
them.
it
I
funny
couldn't
or
tell you
not?
what they were either.
All right. I
Well,
won't
you're
fucking
wearing
watch
an ELO shirt, and it makes me think about Blue Skies and how, you know, there are a lot of songs about blue skies,
There are.
but there aren't a lot of songs about clouds. And I wonder if that's because clouds are just gods coming in the sky, and they're fucking up this blue sky thing that ELO was talking about.
Okay.
Guru. Oh, he's going.
No.
I thought you were about to come.
You want me to come? me
Only
a
if it's
minute.
from sounding. All right, I gotta let the.
How many more times will it come?
I gotta let the callback go now. Yeah, it's old.
Dude,
That's good.
Tell the wheelchair basketball one.
No, the wheelchair basketball was so bad. I can't believe y'all let me tell that so many times.
What?
I think we need to talk about which gods throw bigger clouds. Like, Odin and Jesus are up there like, oh man, I can make this
Odin
day
and
real
Jesus.
cloudy.
Two different mythologies going at it.
Yeah.
It's a big god orgy.
Let's see who can toss a better cloud. Come on.
If yours is bigger, if yours is smaller, you have to eat it.
Who can make it rain?
Come droplets from the sky.
Dear God.
Oh, Jesus. I just my brain went down a bad path that I did not want to share with everybody, but it would have been funny. I can't do it now.
Go on.
All right, fuck it. I came on my own chin the other day. Have you ever done that before?
Dude, that's nice.
Yeah. I just can't believe I shared.
That's
I
nice.
wasn't alone.
Dude,
for the truth.
that is not just dick muscles. That takes rectum.
Yeah, that-
like you get, it's the equivalent of Kegels. Like it takes extra squeeze. Like you got to get the butt cheeks involved to get to your chin. Oh,
Nothing is off limits in the
Jeez.
fucking growing up with Noah.
No, yeah, this has been I've learned everything. My mind is going to explode tonight.
Boofing.
You could have gone a lifetime without knowing that one though.
Yeah, that was
That was a feat. I mean, I was honestly like, it took me a second because I took a moment and a breath and I went, did that just fucking happen? And then I wiped up and went to sleep. It's like, oh fuck. You want to workshop one that you hadn't done on stage? God's rain and come down.
I got a new one that I've been playing with about the miracle of birth and how it's an incredible thing, and there's that moment when the baby's head comes out, and I don't know if you've ever squished a baby's head, but if you squish a baby's head, you squish his face just right, not like in a bad way, just vaginas are tight.
some.
Yeah, well, there's a thing called,
I had a moment that was like I was
Before you-
visualizing this, and I probably shouldn't have
I'm
been.
not talking about abusing babies. I'm talking about cute. Squeeze their face cute.
Like grandma kind of.
Yeah, like pinch a cheek kind of thing. But if you squeeze a baby's face just right, its tongue will come out. And so I wonder if on the way out, if that's what it means to like eat out pussy, is like a baby just catches a lick of ring the bell a little on the way out. So like, did the baby eat the mom out, or is it, is that why women say that pregnancy and childbirth is an orgasmic experience? Is that something that they're just not telling us?
Oh my God. I'm never going to look at birth the same.
The baby's first flavor is pussy.
Oh my God.
Dude, and does that make it
changes
easier
everything.
to find the clit later on in life? Like, what does that do for your sex game? If you start licking pussy as a neonate,
Oh my God.
See, it's God
yeah, man,
talking.
you're gonna make some
God's
noises.
gonna rain come in a second.
So this is the bit I've been working on.
That's a good one. I mean, how can a baby go up from that?
I
moment?
got it's gonna find the bean.
Wow, we're talking about a kid and their mother. That's insane.
Oh man, nothing
Yeah.
is off limits, man.
That's
It's
perfect.
better ass
Oh my
jokes.
God.
No.
Oh my God.
Fuck. Please.
That's perfect.
All right, I'm gonna take a breath. Hold on. I got teary-eyed. When I saw him on stage last, it was the funniest fucking like little quip one-liner I've ever heard in a long time. He was like doing this bit about like ghost hunter, like parapsychological people.
The phantom limb thing?
Yeah, when you were like,
Oh yeah.
has anybody in your family old died recently?
Oh yes.
And I was just like, what? Has anybody in your
You got to
family
preface it
old
better
has
than
died?
that. It's so the bit is John Edwards is the
Do
sword.
you know who that is?
Yeah, dude.
So John Edwards is a medium that talks
Medium.
to dead people, and instead I can't talk to dead people because I have a phantom limb. I can feel them. And the joke ends by me fingering somebody's grandmother.
Fucking guru.
I need to see this
Fucking
guy do
guru.
comedy again. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I'm gonna plug it till you get back on stage too. Like I gotta see you get back out there and shine.
You're not the only person that's trying to.
Tell some jokes.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it. There's an open
Maybe
mic
one day.
tonight.
That's where I'm going to be.
Yeah.
There's one tonight?
Yep. The new one at Grandstand.
Didn't know there was one at Grandstand.
Yeah, 9 p.m. It's past your bedtime, Noah.
9 p.m.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's right after the line dancing. So,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It would be hard for me not
get
to.
them all riled up. And all
dude,
They
I don't
still-
know if you've been to a line dancing class lately, but
no.
it's a good view.
that. Good to know.
I don't recommend participating, but if you can watch
sitting
one
back.
without looking creepy, worth it.
It's like a yoga class. You're sitting out the glass and
Almost as much fun as watching a volleyball game.
Oh, my God.
I don't know why we still allow that. Like, there are plenty of comics that have taken shots at girls, young girls wearing spandex, but they still do it.
you just talked about a baby licking pussy. So I,
Yeah. I'd say that's kind of that takes
sometimes
the
things are up, you know.
Dude, if you're going to put teenagers on television in spandex,
Gosh, yeah, we're pushing bounds.
yeah, that's... I
Pushing
don't know
bounds.
whose fault that is. I don't know if that's why I'm a volleyball player and why I always played volleyball, but I will say I'm very happy that spandex has gotten to the point that it's gotten. Because now everybody just wears spandex. In the past, like think about all the B movies, it was all the outfit, the uniform from outer space was spandex.
Oh,
yeah.
That was the
tight as
dream.
possible.
That was the dream. We're there. We made it. We don't have starships, but we got fucking spandex.
Yeah, until you walk into the Walmart and it's a big old girl wearing Spanx,
Yeah,
and you're
that's
like,
scary fucking sight.
Dude,
you got a little
okay.
bit more folds than you're leading on to believe.
If
there,
I
you know?
can see your cellulite through your spandex, you're exceeding the weight
it's
limit.
only for the skinny women.
You
We've
need
seen
to
the
stop
way
it.
that you're too tall to ride this
Spandex
ride.
should have...
You weigh a
Spandex,
little too much.
spandex shouldn't have a weight limit. It should have a stretch limit.
Oh, no.
Do not
breaks.
stretch beyond this point, you know?
Fucking perfect. Make it like an airport, like security checkpoint. Where you can't, that's so good.
Yeah, it's
Holy
like
shit.
it's like a penis. You do not pull past this point. You know?
It's fucking perfect.
Or you'll yank it off. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, I appreciate the credit, but you know, you can take an inch off of that stroke and still stay on board.
I
Anyway,
have not fucking teary-eyed since the last time I watched Compton comedy. I mean, that's a memory in my brain now, and like I got too many things to think about. All right, see, what's your Halloween plans, man? Since it's October, what you got going on? Are you gonna eat a lot of Reese cups and go trick or treating?
I am going to try and find a I don't know, some unorthodox slutty costume to not take
Spandex
home.
for sure.
Yes,
Beat me to it.
there'll be some spandex involved. I don't have any plans for Halloween. To be honest, Halloween is just when everyone else dresses up because I'm already dressed up. So it's welcome to the team. It's one more day where people don't realize that I do this all the time. They're like, "Hey, nice costume."
yeah.
Fuck you.
Dude, you reminded me of something weird. When I got out of the shower the other day, I wrapped a towel around my stomach and one tip was hanging out. My hair was like wild. I got the bald on the top and I was like, should I go in a toga this year and just be like a weird Greek god?
Do it.
Yes.
You know?
I was about to ask
Have
you
a
your
bald
Halloween
fucking-
costume.
It might be. It's cheap and simple. And just like me.
Dude, you could do Jeff Goldblum as Zeus from, is it Atlas or
What is that?
like it's some movie? But he did a cameo as one of the guys in Marvel, and Chaos is the name of it. It's a TV show on Netflix, and it's Jeff Goldblum being
Was he bald?
Zeus.
Like, did he have the monk's cap baldness? Because that's my biggest problem with costumes. Last year, he got me to go as Jack Torrance, and I didn't wear a hat because I was like, my hair is kind of wild anyway, so I was like insecure about it the entire time that my bald head was showing.
Let's see. Just shave it and be Professor X.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Will you
about
push
it.
me around in a wheelchair?
I would push you in.
Dude,
if
fucking
it,
A.
yeah.
The forehead has gotten so large that I'm getting close to wanting to cut it off, but I got too many lumps. I got to get the lumps taken off before I start.
I've always wanted to ask you this, and I think I did text you this one time. I was like, hypothetically, how much would it cost for you to shave your beard? And I think you did respond, and I laughed, but I don't remember the response.
Some good pussy. Not much. I'll be perfectly honest. All the dumb decisions I've made in my life, there's been pussy involved.
Same.
So it probably wouldn't take much if the offer were on the right platter.
The right landing strip.
Exactly.
What about you, Mr. Noah? What's your Halloween plans? Are you going to Georgia? Yeah.
No, I'll probably be here. I just don't know what my plans are.
Fucking
There's
A,
not
man.
jack shit to do in this.
Well, I'm stuck for, you're welcome. There's a nice party the 26th, so I'll get you
At
the
the very
details
least,
if you want
that's
to
at least
come.
my Halloween plan.
That'll be a good time. It'd be cool to just at least hang out. But I think I've nutted. Have you? Compton made me laugh pretty hardcore.
This has been a good
You got
one. I
anything?
enjoyed
Yeah.
this. Very good.
Fucking A, animal. Fucking A. You? Anything? Parting words of wisdom?
ComptonSmith.com. Check it out. Follow along.
I like
Come
sitting
see me.
back in this one. This was nice. Too.
Your turn now. You got the fucking starshine. Please tell a joke.
Tell a joke.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I keep putting you on the spot. All right, guys. It's been such a good time. I love you both.
This is
Love you
great.
too.
Very
Yeah.
good. Very good.
Thank y'all for having me.
Fuck yeah. Thanks for coming out, man. We'll have to get another one going soon.